Sunday, July 19th, 2026. A third American service member has been killed, this time in northern Iraq during the controlled detonation of a downed Iranian drone. U.S. Central Command confirmed the soldier died on Saturday, and a second service member suffered mild injuries. The death brings the total number of U.S. troops killed since the Iran war began on February 28 to 17.
Military in the world by far. I didn't know that we're going to have to be showing it off so much, to be honest with you. I built it. In my first term, we built this military, and I didn't know that we'd have to use it quite as much as we're using it, but we're using it well, and there's no better military. There's nobody even close, so we're very proud of it. So we have in this company 2,600 employees, and they pour out their sweat and their soul into shipping the products America knows and loves, and they're doing more business than they've ever done before. And thanks to the record-setting tax cuts that we passed in the great, big, beautiful bill, biggest tax cuts in the history of our country, tax cuts. You know, as I grew up, I'd watch politicians, and I'd always hear that, we're going to cut your taxes, cut your taxes. This is the first group of opponents. It's the first group, the Democrats. They're always saying, we're going to raise your taxes. Historically, a politician has to. Ideally, you're going to follow through. But you have to say, we're cutting taxes. They say, we're going to raise that. They were going to give you, if they won, Kamala and Joe, Sleepy Joe. But they were going to raise your taxes more than any. It was the biggest tax increase in the history of our country. And I kept saying, are they really saying this? I don't know. What do I know about politics? I haven't been doing it that long. But they were going to give you the biggest tax cut. And now again, the midterms are coming. They want to raise your taxes higher than you've ever had before. We have to win. The midterms are going to be very, very important to keep it going. But thanks to the tax cuts, which are record-setting, we passed the great, big, beautiful bill, and I'm pleased to report that Verse Logistics is investing more than $10 million into expansion.
The United States completed its 9th consecutive night of strikes on Iran. In the most controversial attack yet, U.S. forces hit the Darkhovin nuclear power plant construction site near the Iraqi border. Iran's Atomic Energy Organization called it a dangerous assault on peaceful infrastructure. The International Atomic Energy Agency said the plant is in very early stages of construction and poses no radiological risk, but called for military restraint near all nuclear sites.
He was there, but I loved watching that. That was so. The family goes outside and they start screaming at him. A short time ago, under Biden and his allies in Congress, we were dead as a doornail. We were a dead country, I'll tell you, and it looked like we weren't going to come back. Now we have the hottest country anywhere in the world. This is the hottest country anywhere in the world. Most powerful military. The stock market has set 53 all-time record highs since the election, all time. And the typical American's 401k is up by almost $35,000 since I took office. And in 4 years, Joe Biden got less than $1 trillion of new investment into the United States. So think of this. $1 trillion over a period of much less, over a period of 4 years. We got $18 trillion. And Jake Paul knows what that means. $18 trillion in 11 months, because they haven't calculated the 12 months. So we have 18 trillion in 11 months. Say in a year, what difference does it make? Compared to substantially less than 1 trillion in 4 years. You would say they didn't do a good job, Jake. I didn't ask Jake who he voted for, but I don't think it was Kamala. I don't think so. I think your whole reputation would be shot if you said, oh, I voted for Kamala. That would be the end of your whole career, Jake. But here in the heartland of America, you're already seeing the results of what we've done. I just came from Thermo Fisher Scientific in Reading, Ohio, right across the way. The great American company that's investing $2 billion in domestic manufacturing, all because of what we've done with the tariffs and with the deductions and all of the other things that we've done. Ford Motor Company, and by the way, we have more jobs.
Iran struck back directly at American forces in Kuwait. The Iranian military confirmed large-scale attacks with kamikaze drones against Camp Udairi's ammunition depot and the Patriot radar system at Ali al-Salem airbase. Kuwait reported a third attack in 3 days on a power and water facility, which caught fire. Air raid sirens sounded across parts of the country as Kuwait's military intercepted missiles and drones. In a major escalation, Iran fired missiles at the Jordanian city of AQABA, just miles from the Israeli border city of Eilat. Jordan's military said it intercepted 3 Iranian missiles, with a 4th landing in a deserted area. Israel's military launched Iron Dome interceptors to shoot down fragments that threatened Israeli territory. Israel's defense minister warned that any direct Iranian attack on Israel would be met with full force.
New construction jobs in Kentucky, okay? Kentucky. I love the way a real Kentuckian pronounces it, but if I do it, but I love Kentucky. More Americans are working today than any time in history, and that number is going to be, wait till you see the numbers by the end of the year. We did an excursion. You know what an excursion is? We had to take a little trip to get rid of some evil, very evil people. It should have been done for 47 years. They've been killing our people. 47 years. 47 years. And I can only say this. They were all prepared. They're very strong. You know, they're going to try and take over the whole Middle East. They were going to knock out Israel. They don't know what the hell hit them, right? They don't know what hit them. They got hit by the American military. They don't know. They say, what the hell is happening? They didn't expect anything like this. To bring down energy costs for American workers and families and businesses like this one, we ended the Green New scam. You know the scam? Greatest scam in American history. Well, maybe the election results of the second election were. I would say what was the greater scam? The Green New scam or the 2020 rigged election? I would say the 2020. I think the election. I think the election, but what difference? But the main thing is, we said, get out and vote. We're going to do it again. And we're going to make it too big to rig. And that's what we did. We got the highest vote in history. We didn't need that big. We made it too big to rig. We terminated the insane electric vehicle mandate where you were mandated. And I like electric cars. I think they're great. I like Elon. I said, Elon, look, not everybody wants an electric car.
President Trump attended the FIFA World Cup final at MetLife Stadium in New Jersey, where Spain defeated Argentina 1-0 in extra time. Ferran Torres scored the only goal of the match. Trump joined FIFA President Gianni Infantino to present the trophy to Spain's Rodri. Trump had invited Mexican President Claudia Sheinbaum and Canadian Prime Minister Mark Carney in a diplomatic gesture to ease trade tensions between the 3 host nations.
Behemoths would not be using it. They use it because it's powerful, very, very powerful. The wind, you know, you're watching television and you want to watch, and your beautiful wife, our First Lady, says, I'm sorry, darling, you can't watch tonight. The wind has gone down and we have... But I want to watch myself on television. I want to watch myself debate. She says, I'm sorry, darling, we have absolutely no energy. There's no wind tonight. What a scam. That's a pretty big scam. That's one of the top. I say that's a top 5. It's about 5 that are real beauties. I also announced a lease agreement for $1.5 billion of private sector uranium enrichment facility in Paducah. Paducah. And as we take decisive action to stop the threat posed by the terrorist regime in Iran with Operation Epic Fury. Is that a great name? Well, it's only good if you win. You know, you can only do. And we've won. Let me tell you, we've won. You know, you never like to say too early you won. We won. We won the bet. In the first hour, it was over. But we won. But they gave me a list of names at general. Sir, you can pick the name you'd like, sir. I said, the name of what? The name of the attack on Iran, sir. And they gave me like 20 names. And I'm like falling asleep. I didn't like any of them. Then I see Epic Fury. I said, I like that name. I like that name. And my administration, as you know better than anybody, is also working to keep the oil flowing. It's flowing all over. We knocked out, you know, they want to drop some mines. Very friendly people, mines, so boats blow up. And we knocked out as of, you know, every hour I have to change because they knock them out so fast.
In domestic news, the Trump administration signed a national security presidential memorandum authorizing the CIA to identify and shut down what it called left-wing political violence groups, including debanking their organizations. Meanwhile, 15 state attorneys general filed a lawsuit against the Department of Education to block the planned termination of $1 billion in school-based mental health grants set for July 31st. That is your Trump brief for Sunday, July 19th. 3 American soldiers now dead. Iran hits U.S. bases in Kuwait, and Spain wins the World Cup. Subscribe to the Trump Brief USA for the latest every day. See you tomorrow.